Hey everyone, welcome. Tonight we're going back about 2,000 years to explore something most of us never think about: what it was actually like to be a teenager in ancient Rome. Not the glamorous version you see in movies, the real thing, the daily grind, the expectations, the pressure, the strange mix of freedom and constraint that defined your life. Before we start, let me know in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is for you right now. Are you winding down for the night? Just getting comfortable? Perfect. Go ahead and dim those lights if you can. Maybe turn on a fan for some white noise. Get settled, because we're about to step into a world that's both incredibly foreign and strangely familiar. Let's begin. The rooster crows somewhere in the courtyard below, and you're awake instantly. Not because you want to be, because you have to be. The room is still dark, just the faintest grey light creeping through the narrow window high on the wall. Your room is small. A bed, a chest for your clothes, a small table. The walls are plain plaster, no decoration. You're not wealthy enough for frescoes. The wool blanket scratches against your skin as you push it off. The morning air is cold. It's early spring, and the stone walls hold the chill like they're made of ice. You swing your legs over the side of the bed, and your feet hit the floor. Cold tile. Always cold. You've lived in this house your entire life, and every single morning starts the same way, that shock of cold against your soles. You can hear the household waking up around you. Footsteps, voices, the clatter of pottery from the kitchen. Your mother's voice, sharp and clear, giving instructions to Helena. The smell of bread baking, olive oil heating. Your stomach responds before your mind does. You stand and reach for your tunic. It's lying where you dropped it last night, rumpled on the chest. You pull it over your head. The fabric is coarse linen, not the fine wool your father wears. You're still young enough that no one cares much about your clothes. You smooth it down and reach for your belt. Leather, worn soft from use. You wrap it around your waist and tie it without thinking. You've done this every morning for years. There's a small bronze mirror on the table. You glance at it and see your face too young still. No beard to speak of, just a bit of dark fuzz on your upper lip that you're absurdly proud of. Your hair is dark and curly, cut short in the practical Roman style. Your mother cuts it herself every few weeks, sitting you down in the courtyard with her shears. You look like your father. Everyone says so. Same nose, same jawline, same serious expression even when you're trying not to be serious. You splash water on your face from the bowl by the bed. It's cold too. Everything is cold. You dry your face with a cloth, and that's it. That's your morning routine. No one expects more. Cleanliness is for the afternoon, for the baths. Morning is for getting up and getting started. You step out of your room into the corridor. The house is built around a central courtyard, the atrium. You can see it through the doorway, the opening in the roof where rain collects in the impluvium, the shallow pool below. The morning light is starting to filter down. Your sister Julia is already up, sitting on the edge of the pool, dangling her fingers in the water. She looks up when she hears you and makes a face. Typical. She's 12 and thinks everything you do is either boring or stupid. Tiro appears from somewhere, moving quietly the way slaves learn to move. He's been with your family since before you were born. You've known him your entire life. He's carrying a tray with bread and watered wine. He nods to you, respectful but familiar. You nod back. There's a strange relationship here. He's property, technically, but he's also practically family. Your father treats him well, better than most. You've seen how other families treat their slaves. It makes you uncomfortable in ways you don't fully understand yet. Your father is already in the tablinum, the office where he conducts business. You can see him through the doorway, bent over his accounts. Wax tablets spread across his desk, his lips moving as he calculates. He's always calculating, always worried about money, about trade, about ships lost at sea, about grain prices in Alexandria. The life of a merchant is uncertain. He reminds you of this constantly. Your mother emerges from the kitchen, her hair already pinned up, her stola arranged perfectly. She sees you and gestures, "Come, eat." You follow her to the triclinium, the dining room. It's early, so you eat in the small one, not the formal room with the couches where you recline for dinner. This is breakfast, quick, practical. You sit on a bench and Tiro puts the bread in front of you. It's good bread, still warm. You tear off a piece and dip it in olive oil. The oil is rich and green, and from your family's own stock. Your father imports it from Spain. It's one of the things he's proudest of, that his family eats oil from his own business. You take a bite, and the bread is perfect, crusty outside, soft inside. You follow it with a sip of the watered wine. It's sour and thin, but it wakes you up. Your mother sits across from you, not eating yet, just watching. She does this, watches, makes sure you're eating properly, sitting properly, behaving properly. You're 15, nearly a man, but to her you're still a child who needs constant correction. She asks if you're ready for Diodorus today. Your tutor, you nod, mouth full of bread. She gives you a look. You swallow, say yes properly. You do. She nods, satisfied for now. She tells you that after your lessons, you need to go with your father to the forum. He wants you to start learning the business. Start making connections. Start understanding how trade works, how contracts are written, how to judge the quality of grain by looking at it, by feeling it between your fingers. You nod again. You've heard this before. You'll hear it 1,000 more times. Your father's plans for you are clear and unchanging. You'll take over the business. You'll marry well. You'll have sons. You'll continue the family. This is what's expected. This is what everyone expects. But you're 15, and the city outside is huge and full of things you've barely seen. The narrow streets, the temples, the theatres, the Colosseum where gladiators fight. Your friend Gaius is always talking about sneaking out at night, about seeing things, about living before you're trapped by responsibility. Part of you wants that. Part of you is terrified of it. Your mother stands. She tells you to finish eating. Diodorus will be here soon. She leaves to attend to something else. There's always something else, and you're alone with your bread and oil and wine. You look around the room. The walls have simple paintings, nothing elaborate. A garden scene, some birds. Your family can afford comfort, but not luxury. You're in the middle above the poor who crowd the insulae, the apartment buildings that tower 6 stories high and regularly burn down or collapse. But below the truly wealthy who live on the Palatine Hill with their marble columns and private libraries. You're stuck in between. And at 15, that's exactly how you feel about everything. You finish your bread and stand. Time to begin the day. Time for lessons with Diodorus, who will drill you in Greek and rhetoric and mathematics. Time to prove you're learning, growing, becoming the man everyone expects you to be. But for now, for just this moment, you're still just a teenager in a cold house on an early spring morning, trying to figure out who you are and who you're supposed to become. Diodorus arrives exactly when the sun clears the rooftops. You can set your life by him. He's been your tutor for 5 years now, since you were 10. Before that, your mother taught you your letters. But at 10, your father decided you needed real education, Greek, rhetoric, the things that separate educated men from mere merchants. He's old. How old? You're not sure. 60? 70? His beard is entirely white, his face lined like old leather left in the sun too long. He walks with a slight limp, something about a fall years ago, and carries a walking stick made of polished wood. He's a freedman, former slave, bought his freedom somehow, and now makes his living teaching boys like you He greets your mother formally in the atrium. She responds with equal formality. There's a careful dance here. He's a freedman, so technically lower status than your family. But he's educated, Greek, and education commands respect in Rome. Your mother treats him with courtesy that she never extends to the household slaves. You follow him to your father's tablinum. Your father has left for the day already, gone to meet ships at Ostia or check warehouses or whatever he does. The room is quiet now. Diodorus settles himself on the chair behind the desk. You stand. This is how it works. He sits. You stand. When you get something right, you might earn a seat. He begins with Greek. Always Greek. Homer today. The Iliad. He recites a line, and you repeat it. His Greek is flawless, musical, nothing like the harsh Latin you speak every day. You stumble over the words. He corrects you patiently. Again, you try again. Better, he nods. This goes on for an hour. Greek is the language of education, of philosophy, of medicine. Every educated Roman learns it. Your father doesn't speak it well. He's a practical man, learned his trade through doing, not study. But he insists you learn it properly. It's one of the things that separates your class from the rabble. After Greek comes rhetoric. Diodorus poses a question. Should a man prioritize duty to family or duty to the state? You're supposed to argue both sides. You start with family that's easy. That's what you feel. Family is everything. Family is real. The state is abstract. Diodorus listens without expression. Then he tells you to argue the opposite. This is harder, but you try. The state protects families. Without the state, there's chaos. Without Rome, there's nothing. The argument feels hollow in your mouth, but you make it anyway. Diodorus nods. Good. Not great, but good. You're learning to think, he tells you, not just to feel. Mathematics comes next. Practical stuff. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, fractions. Your father needs you to understand accounts, to calculate quickly in your head. How many amphorae of oil can fit in a warehouse? If grain costs this much per modius in Egypt, and ships cost this much to hire, what's your profit in Rome? You work through problems scratched on a wax tablet with your stylus. Diodorus checks your work, points out errors, makes you do it again. By the time he's finished, it's nearly midday. The sun is high and hot. Diodorus stands, joints creaking. He tells you you're improving. From him, this is high praise. He tells your mother he'll return tomorrow and limps out. You're left standing in the tablinum, head full of Greek verse and mathematical problems, and your father appears in the doorway. He's back from wherever he was. His tunic is dusty from the street. He looks at you and jerks his head. Come, time for the real education to begin. You follow him out of the house into the street. The noise hits you immediately. Rome is never quiet, never. The street is narrow, tall buildings on either side blocking most of the sun. People everywhere, merchants calling out their wares, slaves hurrying on errands, litters carrying wealthy women, the curtains closed, the bearers sweating. Carts aren't allowed in the city during the day, so everything is foot traffic, packed, chaotic. The smell is intense cooking food, human sweat, animal dung, incense from a nearby shrine, all mixed together in a wall of scent that you've known your entire life. Your father walks quickly. You hurry to keep up. He's taking you to the Forum, the heart of Rome. It's a long walk from the Aventine, down the hill, through the narrow streets, past the Circus Maximus where you can hear the roar of a crowd, some race happening, thousands of people crammed into the stands. You want to stop, to look, but your father doesn't slow. The Forum opens up before you like a different world. Suddenly there's space, open sky. The sun beating down on white marble and limestone buildings. Temples rise around the edges, Jupiter, Saturn, Vesta with her sacred flame. The Basilica Julia, where courts are held, lawyers arguing cases, crowds watching the entertainment of justice. The Senate House, that austere building where the most powerful men in the world debate. But your father isn't interested in any of that. He's here for business. He leads you to the edge of the forum, where merchants gather. Men in togas, talking in clusters, making deals, arranging contracts. Your father knows all of them. He's been doing this for 30 years. He introduces you. This is my son, Marcus. He's learning the business. The men nod, size you up with quick glances. You're nobody yet, just another merchant's son. But someday, if you prove yourself, you'll be one of them. Making deals, taking risks, getting rich, or going bankrupt. Your father talks to a man about a shipment of grain from Egypt. The man wants to buy a quarter of the cargo. Your father names a price. The man counters. They go back and forth, casual, almost friendly, but you can see the calculation in both their eyes. They settle on a number. They spit in their palms and shake. The deal is made. That's it. No written contract for this, just their word. That's how business works here. Your reputation is everything. You watch transaction after transaction. Your father explains some of them. Points out who's honest, who to watch carefully, who's going bankrupt, who's getting rich. The forum is a web of relationships and reputation and risk. You're trying to absorb it all, but it's overwhelming. A commotion breaks out near the rostra, the speaker's platform. A politician is giving a speech. Crowds are gathering. Some cheering, some jeering. Your father glances over and snorts. Politics. He has no patience for it. Let the aristocrats play their games. He's here to make money. But you're fascinated. The speaker is young, maybe 30, toga bright white, voice carrying across the forum. He's talking about grain distribution to the poor, about the games, about the glory of Rome. The crowd responds like he's pulling their strings. You've never seen anything like it. Your father grabs your arm. Stop gaping. Pay attention. There's work to do. The afternoon stretches on. You meet more merchants. You watch your father examine samples of grain, oil, wine. He shows you how to judge quality, how to spot when someone's trying to cheat you, how to negotiate without showing your real position. It's exhausting. All these faces, names, numbers, your head spins. Finally, as the sun starts to sink, your father tells you that's enough for today. You've done well. You didn't embarrass him. That's his version of praise. You walk back through the forum. It's even more crowded now. The afternoon is when everyone comes out. The heat of midday has passed. People are shopping, socializing, conducting business. You pass temples where people are making offerings. Past the Vestal Virgin's house where those strange women live their whole lives serving the goddess. Past lawyers still arguing in the basilica. Past everything that makes Rome the center of the world. Your father asks if you're ready for the baths. You are. You're covered in dust and sweat. The baths are where the afternoon happens, where everyone goes, where you finally get to relax. You nod. The baths. Yes, finally. The baths are 3 blocks from the forum. You can see the steam rising from the building, even from a distance. The complex is huge, built by some emperor whose name you can't remember, a gift to the people of Rome. Marble columns, mosaics, space for hundreds of people to bathe, exercise, socialize. It's one of the best things about Roman life. Rich and poor together, mostly naked, mostly equal. Your father pays the entrance fee, a couple of bronze coins, cheap enough that almost anyone can afford it. You walk through the entrance and the noise hits you, voices echoing off the high ceilings, water splashing, the ring of metal against metal from the exercise yard. The smell is distinctive: hot water, oil, sweat, perfume, all mingling together. Your father heads to the changing room. You follow. Men are stripping off their tunics, handing them to slaves who watch the clothes for another small fee. Your father strips without modesty. You do the same. Nudity isn't shameful here. It's normal, expected. You're 15, body still gangly, not quite filled out yet. You're conscious of this, but no one else cares. Everyone's focused on their own routine. Your father hands his clothes to the attendant. You do the same. The attendant gives you each a token you'll need it to reclaim your clothes. Then you're naked, following your father deeper into the complex. First stop is the exercise yard. Your father isn't interested in this part, but you are. Young men are wrestling, lifting weights, running. You see Gaius immediately. He's hard to miss. Loud laugh, louder voice, in the middle of everything as always. He sees you and waves. Your father notices and tells you to go ahead. He'll be in the caldarium, the hot bath. Find him when you're done. You jog over to Gaius. He's with two other boys you know vaguely. They're taking turns wrestling in the sand. Gaius challenges you immediately. You accept because refusing would be worse. You step into the sand and he charges. You grapple, trying to remember the techniques the gymnasium instructor showed you. Gaius is stronger, but you're quicker. You manage to trip him and he goes down hard. The others cheer. Gaius laughs, not embarrassed at all, and jumps up, ready to go again. You wrestle for a while, all of you, trading partners, rough and competitive but friendly. This is what boys do. This is how you prove yourself, test yourself, learn your place in the hierarchy. You're decent at wrestling. Not the best, but not the worst. That's fine. You're not trying to be a gladiator. Eventually you're all sweating hard and someone suggests moving to the baths proper. You agree. You rinse off at the fountain in the corner of the yard, washing off the worst of the sand and sweat. The bath complex is arranged in sequence. You start in the tepidarium, the warm room. The temperature is pleasant, not too hot. You sit on the bench along the wall. Gaius sits next to you. He starts talking immediately about some girl he saw at the market. She smiled at him. He's sure of it. He's always sure. You listen half-heartedly. Girls are mysterious to you still. You're interested, curious, but also nervous. You're 15. You're supposed to start thinking about marriage soon. Your father has mentioned it. The idea terrifies you. After the tepidarium, you move to the caldarium, the hot room. The heat hits like a wall. Steam rises from the huge pool in the center. Men are immersed up to their shoulders, faces red, sweating out the day. You see your father across the room, talking with someone you don't know. Business, probably. Always business. You slide into the water. It's almost too hot, but you adjust. Gaius follows, hissing at the temperature. You sit on the underwater bench and let the heat soak into your muscles. It's amazing how tense you've been all day without realizing it. The heat unknots something in your shoulders, your back. Gaius is still talking. About the races at the circus. About wanting to sneak into the Colosseum for the games. About everything and nothing. You half listen, enjoying the water, the heat, the simple physical pleasure of being clean. A slave approaches with oil and a strigil, the curved scraper used to clean skin. Your father has sent him. Time to get properly clean. You haul yourself out of the hot bath, dripping, and lie down on a bench. The slave pours olive oil over your back, arms, legs. Then he starts scraping with the strigil. It's not gentle. He's removing dirt, dead skin, all the grime of the day. It's intense but effective. Your skin feels raw and clean afterward. You flip over and he does your front. You close your eyes and let him work. This is luxury, real luxury. Not wealth exactly, but this moment of being cared for, cleaned, restored. When he's done, you thank him and give him a small coin. Not required, but expected if you want good service next time. He nods and moves on to the next customer. You make your way to the frigidarium, the cold pool. You have to do this. It's part of the routine. You stand at the edge, gathering courage. The water is genuinely cold, fed by an aqueduct that brings water from the hills. You jump in before you can talk yourself out of it. The cold is shocking, your breath catches, your skin prickles all over. But after a moment, it's invigorating. You feel awake, alive, clean in a way that goes beyond physical. You swim a few strokes, just enough to say you did it, then climb out. Your skin is covered in goosebumps. You're shivering but grinning. Gaius is there, laughing at your expression. He jumps in next, making a huge splash, yelling at the cold. Other men laugh. This is part of it too. The communal experience. Rich and poor, old and young, all here together, all equally foolish in the cold water. You dry off with a linen cloth and make your way back to the changing room. Your father is already there, dressed, waiting. He looks refreshed. The baths do that. Strip away the day, the stress, the dirt. You feel renewed. You reclaim your tunic from the attendant. Dress quickly. The fabric feels rough against your clean skin. You follow your father out into the late afternoon. The sun is lower now, golden light slanting between buildings. The city is still busy, but the quality of busy has changed. The workday is mostly done. Now it's leisure time, social time. Your father tells you it's time to head home. Dinner will be ready soon. Your mother will be waiting. Tomorrow will be another day of lessons and business. But for now, walking through the cooling streets, clean and refreshed, you feel good. Tired, but good. Home feels different in the evening light. The atrium is dim, lamps not yet lit, the last of the sunlight filtering down through the opening in the roof. Your sister Julia is sitting by the impluvium again, trailing her fingers through the water. She looks up when you enter and makes that face again. You ignore her. Your mother appears from somewhere, already directing slaves to prepare for dinner. Helena is carrying platters. Tiro is arranging couches in the triclinium. There's a rhythm to this. Practiced, the same every evening. You're sent to wash again, hands, face, feet. Even though you just came from the baths, cleanliness before meals is essential. You wash quickly in the basin by the entrance, dry your hands, and make your way to the dining room. The formal triclinium is being used tonight. 3 couches arranged in a U shape around a low central table. Your father will recline on the central couch, the place of honor. Your mother will take her place beside him. You and Julia will share the couch to the left. The right couch is for guests, but there are no guests tonight, just family. You take your place, reclining on your left elbow as you've been taught. It's not as comfortable as it looks. Your arm goes numb if you stay too long. But this is how civilized Romans eat dinner, reclining like Greek symposiasts, not sitting like barbarians or slaves. Julia climbs onto the couch beside you. She's 12 and still not quite comfortable reclining. She keeps sliding. You can tell she wants to sit up but doesn't dare. Your mother watches everything with her sharp eyes. Slaves bring the first course. Eggs in fish sauce, olives, fresh bread, vegetables in vinegar. Your father makes a small offering to the household gods first, placing a bit of food in the fire that burns in the brazier nearby. The gods must be honored, always, every meal. This is duty, tradition, the way things are done. Then you eat. The eggs are good, rich with the pungent fish sauce that Romans love. The bread is the same good bread from this morning, fresh baked. You tear off pieces and dip them in olive oil. The olives are small and dark and salty. Simple food, but good food. Your father talks while eating. He's in a good mood. Business went well today. He tells your mother about the deals he made, the prices he got, the contacts he established. She listens and asks intelligent questions. She may run the household, but she understands the business too. She grew up in a merchant family. This is her world as much as his. He turns to you, asks what you learned from Diodorus today. You tell him, Homer, rhetoric, mathematics. He nods. Good, all necessary, but he wants to know what you learned in the forum, what you observed, what you understood about the transactions you saw. You try to explain about reputation, about quality assessment, about negotiation tactics. He listens critically, corrects you when you miss something, points out things you should have noticed but didn't. You feel inadequate. You're trying, but there's so much to learn. He tells you that next week you'll go with him to Ostia, the port city where the ships come in. You need to see the whole operation. See the warehouses, the docks, the process of unloading cargo. Understand the risks of shipping weather, pirates, shipwreck. Understand why prices fluctuate, why timing matters, why knowing the right people can mean the difference between profit and loss. You nod. Say you're looking forward to it. You are and you aren't. It's exciting to see more of the world beyond Rome, but it's also overwhelming. This future being planned for you. This life already decided. The main course arrives. Roasted chicken, more vegetables, a fish in herb sauce, lentils cooked with bacon. The food keeps coming. Not as lavish as a wealthy family's feast, but substantial. More than enough. Your family eats well. Julia is quiet, picking at her food. Your mother notices and asks what's wrong. Julia says nothing. Your mother gives her a look. Julia finally admits she's tired of being stuck at home all day. She wants to go out, see the city. Your mother's face hardens. Absolutely not. Girls stay home. Girls learn household management. Girls don't wander the streets like boys. End of discussion. Julia's face crumples, but she doesn't cry. She's learning to hold it in. You feel sorry for her, but also grateful you're a boy. The freedom you have, however limited, is vastly more than she'll ever have. Her whole life is decided already. She'll be married in a few years, probably to someone your father chooses for business reasons. She'll run another household, manage other slaves, have children. That's her future. Fixed. Unchangeable. Your father changes the subject. He talks about the news from the forum. There's tension with the Dacians in the north. The emperor might campaign soon. This could affect trade routes, change prices, create opportunities or disasters. Your father is always thinking 3 moves ahead, always calculating. Dessert arrives, honey cakes, fresh fruit, more watered wine. You eat the cake slowly, savoring the sweetness. Honey is expensive, but not prohibitively so. This is a reasonable luxury. After dinner, your father makes another offering to the household gods. Thanks for the meal, for the day's success, for the family's health. You all murmur prayers. The gods are everywhere, in everything. You don't question this. It's as fundamental as breathing. Your mother tells Julia to go to bed. Julia protests weakly but obeys. She's learning her place, learning what's expected. You watch her go and feel that pang again. Her life is so constrained. Your father tells you that you can go too, but tomorrow more lessons, more business, always more. You're being shaped, molded, prepared. The weight of expectation is constant. You stand, thank your parents for dinner, as is proper, and make your way to your small room. The lamps are lit now, casting flickering shadows on the walls. You can hear the city outside. Even at night, Rome never truly sleeps. Voices, footsteps, the distant sound of music from some tavern. You lie on your bed, not ready for sleep yet. The day replays in your mind Diodorus and his lessons, the forum with your father, the baths with Gaius, dinner with your family. The same pattern as yesterday, the same pattern as tomorrow. You're 15, caught between who you are and who you're supposed to become. The city outside is full of possibilities you're not supposed to want. Gaius talks about them constantly, the taverns, the prostitutes, the gambling dens, the wild side of Rome that respectable families pretend doesn't exist. Part of you wants to see that world. Part of you is afraid of disappointing your father. Part of you wonders if there's a way to do both. To be the son he expects while also being yourself. You don't have answers. Not yet. You're just 15, lying in the dark, listening to Rome breathe outside your window. You can't sleep. The room is too warm. Your mind is too active. The day's events keep churning. You lie there for an hour, maybe more, listening to the house settle. Your parents' voices from their room, low and indistinct. Then silence. They've gone to bed. You sit up. Make a decision that feels reckless and necessary all at once. You're going out. You've done this before, a few times, when Gaius dares you. You're not supposed to. The city at night is dangerous. Criminals, drunks, gangs of young aristocrats looking for trouble. Your father has warned you repeatedly. But you're 15, and warnings mean nothing against the pull of curiosity. You dress quietly, dark tunic, sandals. You move through your room like a thief, careful not to make noise. The door opens with the smallest creak. You freeze, listening. Nothing. The house is asleep. You slip into the atrium. The impluvium reflects moonlight from above. The household gods watch from their shrine, but they don't stop you. You cross to the front entrance. The door is barred from inside, but you know how to lift the bar without much noise. You've practiced. The bar comes up. The door swings open. Night air hits your face, cooler now, carrying smells, cooking fires, human waste, something rotting somewhere. The street outside is dark, lit only by a few lamps in doorways. Most Romans don't go out at night without torches or slaves to guard them. You have neither, but you know the streets near your house. You've lived here your whole life. You turn left, heading downhill, toward the Circus Maximus. That's where Gaius said he'd be tonight. There's a tavern nearby where they don't ask too many questions about age. You move quickly, staying close to the buildings. The streets are narrow, the tall tenements looming on either side. You pass a few people slaves on late errands, a group of men drinking outside a shop, a woman who might be a prostitute or might just be poor. She calls out to you, but you ignore her. You hear voices ahead. Loud, drunk, aristocratic. You press yourself into a doorway as they pass. 4 young men, togas, bright white even in the dark, clearly wealthy, clearly looking for trouble. They're singing badly, arms around each other's shoulders. One has a bruised face, they've already been fighting. You wait until they're gone before moving on. The Circus Maximus rises before you, a massive dark shape against the sky. During the day, it holds 100,000 screaming fans. At night, it's empty, silent, almost ominous. You skirt around its edge, heading for the streets beyond where the taverns cluster. You find the place Gaius mentioned. No sign, just an open doorway, lamplight spilling out, voices loud inside. You hesitate at the entrance. You're 15, clean-shaven, clearly underage for this kind of place. But the doorkeeper just looks at you and gestures inside. Apparently your coin is good enough. Inside is chaos. The room is small, packed with people, men mostly, some women. The air is thick with smoke and wine, fumes and sweat. Lamps hang from the ceiling, casting unsteady light. People are crammed onto benches, shouting conversations over the noise. There's music somewhere, a flute, badly played. You spot Gaius in the corner. He sees you, and his face lights up. He's already drunk, you can tell from here. He waves you over, shouting your name. You push through the crowd, muttering apologies. Gaius is with two others, both older, maybe 18 or 19. He introduces them, names you don't catch. They're drinking wine, undiluted wine, which is considered barbaric but also exciting. Gaius shoves a cup into your hand. Drink. Don't think. Just drink. You drink. The wine is sour and strong and burns going down. You cough, they laugh. Gaius slaps your back. You're here. You actually came. He didn't think you would. You feel simultaneously proud and guilty. This isn't where you should be. Your father would be furious. Your mother would be horrified. But you're here and the wine is warming your belly and the energy of the place is intoxicating. Gaius is talking loudly about the races. He lost money betting on the blues. Should have bet on the greens. Always the greens, his friends argue. Everyone has their faction. The blues, the greens, the reds, the whites. It's more than just racing. It's identity. It's tribal. Someone starts a dice game. You watch. Money changes hands quickly. The dice clatter on the wooden table. Men shout when they win, curse when they lose. Gaius joins in, loses immediately, laughs it off, bets again. You sip your wine more slowly, looking around, taking it in. This is Rome after dark. This is what your father's lectures never mention. Real people, messy and loud, and free in ways that daylight doesn't allow. A woman walks by, hand trailing across your shoulders. She smiles at you. She's older, painted, clearly working. You freeze, not sure what to do. She laughs and moves on. Gaius sees and punches your arm. Next time, he says. Next time you'll be ready. The night wears on. The wine keeps flowing. You're drinking more than you should. The room starts to blur at the edges. Gaius is telling stories, getting louder, more animated. One of his friends is arguing with someone at another table. The argument gets heated. Voices rise. Suddenly, there's movement. The argument turns physical. Someone throws a punch. Someone else grabs for a knife. You stand. Instinct telling you to move, to get out. But the crowd is too thick. People are shouting. The owner is yelling for calm. Someone crashes into you and you stumble. Gaius grabs your arm. Time to go. Now. You don't argue. You follow him through the crowd, pushing toward the door. Behind you, the fight is escalating. You hear the owner threatening to call the vigiles, the night watch. You don't wait to see what happens. Outside, the cool night air hits your face like a slap. You're breathing hard, heart racing. Gaius is laughing, exhilarated by the chaos. That was amazing. Did you see that? You shake your head. You need to get home, now. Gaius walks part of the way with you, still talking, still high on wine and excitement. He leaves you at a corner, heading toward his own house in the other direction. Be careful, he calls. You will. You make your way back through the dark streets. You're alone now and suddenly aware of how vulnerable you are. Every shadow could hide danger. Every sound makes you jump. But you keep moving, quickly, focused on getting home. You reach your street, your house. The door is still ajar, exactly as you left it. You slip inside, Close it carefully, replace the bar. Your hands are shaking slightly, wine and adrenaline. You cross the atrium, return to your room, close the door. You lie down on your bed, fully clothed. Your head is spinning from the wine. Your heart is still racing from the fight, from the fear of being caught. But underneath it all is a strange satisfaction. You did it. You went out. You saw that other Rome, the one that exists after dark. You know you'll pay for this tomorrow. The wine will make your head pound. The lack of sleep will make you slow during lessons. Your father will notice something is off. But right now, lying in the dark, you don't care. You're 15, caught between childhood and manhood, between duty and desire. Tonight you chose desire. Tomorrow you'll face the consequences. But tonight is yours. Morning comes too soon and feels like punishment. Your head throbs. Your mouth tastes like old wine and regret. The rooster crows and you want to kill it. Instead, you drag yourself out of bed, splash water on your face, try to pretend you're fine. Your mother notices immediately at breakfast. She asks if you're ill. You say no, just tired. She gives you a look that suggests she doesn't believe you but won't press further. Your father is already gone, out on business before dawn. You're grateful. He would have known. Diodorus arrives, and you suffer through your lessons in a fog. Greek sounds like gibberish. Mathematics makes your head hurt worse. He asks if you're unwell. You repeat the same lie. Just tired. He seems skeptical, but continues. You muddle through. When he finally leaves, you collapse in the courtyard. Julia finds you there and asks what's wrong. You tell her nothing. She sits beside you anyway, quiet for once. You lie with your eyes closed, feeling the sun on your face, trying to will the headache away. Your mother appears. She tells you that your father wants you ready in 3 days. There's a ceremony. Your voice confirms the toga virilis ceremony, the one that marks your passage from boy to man. You've known it was coming. You're 15, nearly 16. The timing is right. But somehow, hearing it said makes it real. She explains what will happen. You'll dedicate your childhood bulla, the protective amulet you've worn since birth, to the household gods. You'll shave your first beard, what little there is of it, and offer the hair to the gods. You'll exchange your toga praetexta, the bordered toga of childhood, for the pure white toga virilis of manhood. Then there will be a procession to the forum. Your father will introduce you to his friends and associates as a man, a citizen, an adult, 3 days. That's all you have left of being a child. The next days pass in a strange blur. You go through the motions, lessons with Diodorus, business at the forum, the baths, dinner. But everything feels different, weighted. You're aware of the approaching change in a way that makes every moment feel significant. Gaius comes by to congratulate you. His ceremony was last year. He's a full citizen now, wears his toga virilis, has the legal right to marry, to conduct business, to vote. He tells you it's not as different as you'd think. You're still you. But you're also different. You'll see. The night before the ceremony, you can't sleep, again. But this time it's not rebellion keeping you awake. It's anticipation, fear, excitement, all mixed together. Morning arrives. Your mother has laid out everything for the ceremony. Your new toga, freshly washed and bleached bright white. A razor for your beard. A small box for the bulla that's hung around your neck your entire life. Your father is home. He's taken the morning off, which almost never happens. He looks at you and you see something in his eyes you don't often see. Pride, maybe, or recognition. You're becoming what he's been preparing you to be. The ceremony begins in the atrium. Your father officiates. This is family, private, sacred. You remove the bulla. The leather cord breaks easily after 15 years. You hold the small golden charm in your palm, protection against evil, proof of your free birth, companion of your childhood. You place it on the household altar, an offering, a farewell. Your father takes the razor, this part you've been dreading, not because it will hurt, but because of what it means. He holds your chin gently and scrapes away the thin, dark fuzz on your upper lip, your cheeks, the first beard, offered to the gods, a symbolic severing of childhood. The hair is collected in a small dish, mixed with perfume, set aside for dedication at the temple later. Then the toga. Your mother and a slave help you into it. The toga virilis is pure white, unmarked, different from the purple-bordered toga you've worn since age 7. It's heavy, awkward, takes practice to drape correctly. You've seen men wear it your whole life, but wearing it yourself feels foreign, like costume. But it's not costume, it's reality. You're a man now, legally, officially, religiously. Whatever you were before is gone. The family gathers. You feel your mother's eyes on you. Is she proud? Sad? Both? Julia watches wide-eyed. Your childhood is ending, but hers continues, and will continue longer, differently. She'll never have a ceremony like this. Her transition to womanhood will be quieter, marked by marriage rather than public ritual. Your father leads you out of the house. The morning sun is bright. The street is already busy. But today you walk differently. Toga draped properly, head high, aware of the eyes that follow you. The neighbors recognize what's happening. Some call out, "Congratulations." You nod, trying to look dignified. The walk to the forum feels endless. The toga is hot in the sun, heavy, restrictive. You're used to running, moving freely. This is different. This is being aware of yourself, your presentation, your public face. This is being watched and knowing it. The forum opens before you. Your father has arranged for a small gathering. His business associates, some family friends, they're waiting by the Temple of Saturn. When you arrive, they applaud. You feel your face heat, but you stand straight, accepting their congratulations. Your father introduces you formally. "This is my son, Marcus. Today he becomes a man, a citizen of Rome." The men shake your hand, grip your arm, welcome you to their world. Some offer advice. Work hard, honor the gods, respect your father, build your reputation. All the things you've heard your whole life, but which carry new weight now. The ceremony ends with an offering at the temple. Your father brings the box containing your childhood beard hair. It's dedicated to Apollo, a gift, a marker, a moment frozen in time. This happened. You were a boy, now you're not. Afterward, there's a small feast back at your house. Nothing elaborate but proper. Wine, food, conversation. You wear your toga throughout, sweating, uncomfortable, but you don't complain. This is your day. This is what you've been preparing for. As the afternoon fades, the guests leave. You're finally allowed to remove the toga. Your mother helps you fold it carefully. You'll wear it often now. For business, for religious ceremonies, for public life, but not always. There's relief in that. Evening finds you alone in your room, the same small room you've slept in your whole life. But something is different. Maybe it's you. You look at yourself in the bronze mirror. Same face. Smooth-cheeked now, beard gone. Same dark eyes, same serious expression, but not the same. Something has shifted. You can't quite name it. You think about the past week. Sneaking out to the tavern, the wild night with Gaius. The morning after, consequences faced. And now this, the ceremony, the public declaration. You're a man. But what does that mean? You're still 15, still uncertain, still figuring out who you are. The ceremony gave you a new toga and a new legal status, but it didn't give you answers. Your father expects you to take over the business, to marry, to have children, to continue the family line. That future is clear, mapped out, waiting. But is it what you want? You're not sure. You're not sure you're allowed to want something different. Rome is huge and ancient and full of expectations. You're just one person in a city of 1,000,000. Just one life in a civilization that will outlast you by centuries. What you want, what you feel, what you dream, does any of it matter in the face of that immensity? Maybe, maybe not. But it's your life. This strange, constrained, complicated life as a teenager in ancient Rome. You didn't choose it. You were born into it. But now you have to live it, navigate it. Find some way to be yourself within the boundaries set for you. You lie down on your bed. Tomorrow will come with new expectations, new responsibilities, new weight to carry. But tonight you're still just you. 15, confused, uncertain, hopeful, afraid. All of it at once. The city outside continues its endless noise. Rome doesn't care about your ceremony, your struggles, your questions. It just keeps going, indifferent, eternal. And so do you. Here's the thing about growing up, about transitions, about the moments we mark as significant. They change everything and nothing at once. You're different now, legally an adult, but you're also still you, still carrying the same uncertainties, the same questions, the same fundamental struggle to understand who you are. The Romans had this ceremony to mark the passage. We have our own. Different rituals, same purpose. A way to say this mattered, this moment, this transition. You were one thing, now you're another. But the truth is more complicated. Growing up isn't a single moment. It's 1,000 moments, 1,000 choices, 1,000 times you have to decide who you want to be versus who everyone expects you to be. You're figuring that out. You've been figuring it out this whole week, this whole life, and you'll keep figuring it out, probably forever. That's what it means to be human, to be young, to be caught between who you were and who you're becoming. In ancient Rome or anywhere else, some things never change.